Well, nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for your time and congratulations on this movie.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, Mercy brings this debate to the table about artificial intelligences and the use that we gave and the power we give to them. When you first read the script, did you feel somehow uncomfortable, like this is a real approach to our now reality, or how did you felt?
I felt it was eye-opening. It wasn't fear. It was more or less this was kind of where we're heading. This is a very interesting story to put AI in the judge position. So it definitely kind of opened my eyes. But I don't necessarily fear it. I'm one of those people that like to try to understand everything, but that's like impossible. So it was definitely an eye-opener. But I think it's not a thought piece on AI, and I don't think we give power away. I wouldn't like to think that we give power to AI because it learns from us. So if anything, we can empower it to kind of work for us, kind of a thing. But I was really excited to see what the perspective of everybody else viewing this would be if this was a real world situation.
Yeah, when I first read the script, it was probably almost 2 years ago, and even the world has evolved and changed so much over the course of 2 years. So back then, it didn't feel as relevant and timely as it does today. And this is set in 2029 Los Angeles, and it's 2026 now. It's not hard to imagine that in 2029 the world could be drastically different, and perhaps because of the evolving technology of AI. So mostly I was just excited and focused. I thought it was a really great script, a really great story, a thriller, a chance to try to do something different, something original. And I wasn't too caught up on sort of the ramifications of telling a story about AI in the dawn of AI. But now that the movie's closer to release and we're talking about it, I can sense that there is trepidation around AI. And so, yeah, I'm along for the ride like everybody else, cautiously optimistic and excited for the possibilities, but also trying to safeguard myself and my children from losing their minds.
And Kaylee, your character brings like a very grounded perspective in the justice system and what is done for the good of the system, or what is good for the society in general. So how did you build that characteristics of your character, or how did you build her?
I love building backstories, especially they gave me so much to work with the baseline of this character and her journey. I love finding their whys. Like, what is not my why? Why, I'm not this character, but why does she feel so strongly about having this justice just served, and why does she feel this specific mercy court system is kind of her answer to this justice? So I just found her why, build a hell of a backstory. We probably do like 3 movies off the backstory I build, but it was really important, especially because you guys get there when we've already been partners. Myself and Chris's character have already been partners, so it was really important for me to build my backstory, knowing pretty much not exactly how he was going to shoot it, but reading, I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, I'm going to have to really know who my character is so I can show it without being in the room with him. And it was just building her why, really having a clear view on how she views the world, how she views law enforcement, how she views the world around her, what she thinks of technology, and she thinks it's the best thing no matter what. Her moral compass does not really budge when it comes to what she believes and how she believes in justice, and it really drives her decision making.
And Chris, we see Detective Raven in this situation between constant tension between guilt and somehow trying to save himself. And how did you approach to the character between these lines that should I believe him, should I not believe him, should I trust him?
Right. It was important to for me the most important beat for the character, if we were to get this movie right, was for a moment pretty early in the film where the audience and the character does not know whether or not he committed this crime. And so it had to be believable that there was a sense of darkness in this person, that he would be capable of committing this heinous crime. And so we needed to nail that, and also the layers of a person essentially confessing to guilt around so many things, not necessarily the murder of his wife, but guilt for not being a good father, for not being a good husband, for hiding things from his family, all of the things that he has to sort of admit in order to gain the trust of this judge. So whether he's guilty of the crime or not, he's certainly guilty of a lot. And playing a character who feels the shame and the guilt, and that was really important.
And for both, if Mercy leaves the audience just with one question when leaving the theater, what question or what debate you think audience should have when leaving the theater?
I mean, I don't think. I think the question is, do we really need AI to really be aware, self-aware, more self-aware? Like, if we know a camera's on, we know people are watching us, I feel like we all act a little kinder, a little more patient. But do we really, should we have that as humans? Should we have that as our basis for like, oh, I know the camera's on, I know I need to, people are watching. Like, if that's how you feel, maybe take a look inside and maybe like, this is how maybe we should act anyway. Like, we don't need these things to be hindering over us for us to put on an act because, you know, you see the green light on and, you know, we need to do a story or something, or the camera's watching us. So maybe that question.
That's great. That's good.
Can't
Yeah, I would say walking away with an understanding that we each have a responsibility as AI emerges to put in safeguards to protect our humanity.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for this movie. I really enjoyed it, and I think people will enjoy it.